Hey everyone, ever wonder about the rules that decide who gets to do what in our country? Today, we're diving into the 10th Amendment, a super important part of the US Constitution that's all about your rights and state power. The 10th Amendment might sound like a dusty old law, but it's actually really relevant to our lives. It helps explain how power is split up in the United States. It's the last part of the Bill of Rights, which are the first 10 amendments to the Constitution. Think of the Bill of Rights as a list of important freedoms and rules designed to protect us. The 10th Amendment is all about federalism, a fancy word for how power is divided between the federal, national government, and our state governments. It's like a rule book for who gets to make which decisions. Its core idea is reserved powers. This means if the Constitution doesn't specifically give a power to the federal government, and it doesn't forbid states from having that power, then it's reserved for the states, or for you, the people. So what are some powers the federal government does have? Things like declaring war, regulating trade between states, or coining money. These are called delegated powers and are specifically listed in the Constitution. But almost everything else, that's left to the states or to us. Think about rules for your local school, marriage laws, or even how stores operate in your town. Those are generally state and local powers. For instance, your school's dress code, the classes you take, or even what time school starts, are usually decided by your state and local school boards, not by the federal government in Washington, D.C. The way judges interpret the 10th Amendment has actually changed a lot over time. It's like a living document that gets re-examined with new situations. In the early 1900s, especially in the 1930s, the Supreme Court used the 10th Amendment a lot to say the federal government couldn't interfere with state issues. They really emphasized states' rights, but by the mid-1900s, the court started using the 10th Amendment less often to block federal laws. They focused more on whether Congress was using its own powers correctly, not so much on what states could or couldn't do. Then, starting in the 1990s, the 10th Amendment made a comeback. The court began to use it again to set limits on federal power, especially through something called the anti-commandeering doctrine. Anti-commandeering is a big deal. It means the federal government can't force states or state officials to enforce federal laws or programs. So, the federal government has to use its own people and resources to get things done, rather than making states do their work for them. States have their own independence. Imagine if the federal government tried to tell your school exactly what kind of sandwiches to serve for lunch every day, or exactly how long lunch breaks should be. The 10th Amendment helps ensure that states, and even your local school, get to make those decisions. In a nutshell, the 10th Amendment is a cornerstone of American federalism. It reminds us that the federal government only has the powers specifically given to it by the Constitution. All other governmental powers, the ones not mentioned for the federal government or forbidden to the states, belong to the states or to us, the people. It protects a lot of the local decisions we experience every day. So the next time you think about school rules, state laws, or even voting, remember the 10th Amendment and how it shapes the power balance in our country, protecting your local voice.